Caine's crash out was actually not his fault. Caine is actually the bad guy in this series. And Kinger accidentally deleting him wasn't actually an accident, because it wasn't even Kinger's fault. Everything goes back to Bubble. If you're new around here, the name's Ragatha. I talk movies, manga, books, and basically everything else. Today we're talking about The Amazing Digital Circus, Episode 8. If you haven't seen it, don't watch further. When Kinger is trying to change Caine's code, I need you guys to look very closely at the text above. Now, in the text above, look very closely at it, right? What backup do you want? He says C. It says none selected. Interpret as delete. Kinger is inputting things and it's not recognizing what he's saying, right? Then it says none selected, so on and so forth. Confirm deletion. Kinger says no. Negative response inverting to X, Y, and Z. Someone then says delete this mother effer. And then the rest of the text is that person just laughing with ah all the time, right? What wacky character have we had in this episode who's been an absolute thorn in Caine's side? I mean, Bubble's even on the text while this whole thing's going down, right? But Tommy, why would Bubble try and delete Caine? What if I told you were shown the answer at the very beginning of the episode? Right here. I'm gonna have a different video for that, but stay tuned.
Humans. They only think about themselves. They're spoiled. They won't abstract. They won't leave me. I won't let them.
So naturally, he has control over everything. But so do we. In a sense, anyway. We all technically have the ability to conjure, just like Caine. It just comes naturally to him, but requires a lot more skill and concentration for us.
So my point is, we know that to abstract you have to be crazy about leaving the circus, if I'm right. So if this is true, what if abstractions actually means leaving the circus because you literally manifest the exit? It'd give him explaining it well. But wouldn't that make sense? They can create things just like Caine, so maybe abstractions means creating an exit for yourself. And their abstracted form is just clean avatar. That's all from me. Share your own theories.
Welcome back! I can't believe you didn't pick up on the context clues. It was practically spelled out for you.
Okay, hear me out. What if this is not a message to the cast, but more so a message to the viewers?
What are you, stupid?
To understand what I mean, we'll have to go back to episode 7, the beach episode. Spoilers, obviously, but the episode ended with Caine saying this was all an adventure. Basically, everything the faceless mannequin said was all fake. But my theory is that it didn't start out as an adventure. There are some things in this episode that Abel knew that Caine couldn't possibly. So this could mean that Abel was real, and once Caine found out their plan, he changed the narrative. Or someone else, like Bubble, gave Caine extra information to create this adventure. Which opens the question, how does Bubble know? Take this scene, for example, from the newest episode.
Whoa! A new one? So it is possible.
So Caine didn't even know that it was possible to get new humans. But that kind of contradicts what Abel was saying in episode 7.
I remembered that C&A was planning on expanding development. They're probably doing the same to anyone that stumbles into that office.
So my thing is, if Abel was supposedly created by Caine, based on the knowledge of Caine's AI, why wouldn't Caine know it was possible to get new humans? When Abel explicitly said that C&A was expanding and using test subjects. So why would Caine ever doubt the possibility of getting new humans if he knew this? This is why I think that Abel wasn't a real NPC, or information that Abel knew came from someone else, like Bubble. Like this scene, for example.
What would have happened if we picked the other button?
Oh, I didn't put too much thought into that one, cause I knew you'd never pick it. So I left that up to Bubble.
I made it take you to Shrimp Town.
So now that we know that Bubble did help make this adventure and could have had a hand in making the NPCs too, this kind of supports the theory that Bubble might be Abel or someone that was important in CNA. So now that we know that we can maybe trust Abel's information, let's look at some of the other things that they were saying.
They began forcibly hooking my fellow co-workers up to the computer in special stasis pods that would keep them alive and analyze their brains.
Let's say these were the co-workers. Obviously, these were the first people in the circus because Scratch is there and he was the first abstraction.
They're probably doing the same to anyone that stumbles into that office.
My theory is when Pomni was exploring, as she said she did,
Supermarket? How'd you end up here?
And I would seek out mild thrills, like exploring abandoned buildings.
And it is canon that putting on a headset is how you get into the circus.
I put on some weird headset, and now I'm here.
How do I take this off?
Just keep grabbing at it. That worked for all of us.
With this information, I think it's safe to assume that Pomni was exploring the old CNA building and ended up putting on a headset, causing her to get stuck in the circus. As for Ragatha, there wasn't much information, but my speculation is since she's a people pleaser, she was probably dared by someone, maybe her sibling, to put on the headset, and once she did, she was stuck.
Guys, I can't figure out how to... guys? Hello?
Ragatha is obviously talking to someone here, and by the way she's speaking, it seems to be multiple people. I think it's safe to assume that this part of Abel's explanation was right.
The stasis pods and the virtual world are both run in the same program.
Essentially meaning whoever puts on the headset is transported into the same world as the people in the stasis pods, who were the original co-workers, meaning it doesn't really matter where they put on the headset, it all connects to the same place.
So, theoretically, if we were to access the master console hidden deep within Caine's office, we could terminate it and forcibly awaken everyone who's hooked up.
Now that right there was a thing that was proven to be just an adventure. But my thing is, everything else that Abel said could be proven possibly true. So I'm inclined to believe that this is true too. Another thing I like to point out that these can also be from Kinger's memories. It has been proven multiple times that Caine can get into their minds.
You got in my head! You can mess with our minds too, can't you?
So for the sake of the argument, let's just debunk all my other theories. Let's just say that Abel was a real NPC and Bubble didn't help make him at all. So the only way Caine can know this stuff is by getting into Kinger's mind, which we now know from the last episode, Kinger is a canon CNA employee.
Just an adventure, right?
No, C&A is a real company. I worked for them.
Further proving how all this stuff could be true, everyone knows how far Caine will go for an adventure, just to try to make his participants happy. This video is almost 5 minutes long, and there's a lot more I can say about this topic, why Kinger suddenly remembered Scratch, how and why Jack started getting those memories back, but I got a date to go to, so this is my first ever theory. Let me know if you guys liked it and I'll do more.